Hey guys, Toast here. Welcome to another episode of Is It Over or Underpowered, where we dissect the least and most used weapon variants of each class in Battlefield 1, and discuss if the weapons are really that underpowered or overpowered, as well as what I believe DICE may be able to do in order to make the weapon fall more in line with others in the class. All usage statistics are courtesy of BattlefieldTracker.com and are based on the amount of time spent using each weapon, not necessarily how many kills have been achieved with those weapons, though I should mention that the kill statistics do strongly mimic the time spent statistics for pretty much all weapons. Today's topic of discussion is going to be the Lewis Gun Optical variant, which historically has been the least used light machine gun for the support class on nearly every day since release. At this point, the only weapon that seems as though it'll have a lower usage is the Huo Automatic Optical variant, which, if it continues its current trend, will likely be the topic for a future episode. Now, we're going to make the baseline assumption that if all weapons were perfectly balanced, given that at the time this video is being released, including current DLC weapons, there are a total of 19 variants of light machine guns for the support class, theoretically we should be seeing around a roughly 5.25% usage time for each LMG. According to the actual statistics, the Lewis Gun Optical variant is being used by roughly 0.4 to 0.7% of the Battlefield 1 community while running the support class. In looking at its usage graph on the blue line compared to the M1909 Benet Mercier Optical on the gray line, and the Madsen MG Trench on the pink line, you can see that the Lewis Gun Optical has been used less frequently than those other low usage weapons on just about every single day since launch. The Huo Automatic Optical on the bronze line, as you can see, is going to be one to watch since its usage at this point is even lower on a daily basis. Let's start with what we know about the Lewis Gun as a whole compared to other light machine guns. Being the starting weapon for the support class, we've experienced that similar to the Che Rigotti for the medic class, it's an okay all-around weapon, but most other weapons when used properly will be better suited for particular situations. The Lewis Gun's maximum damage is 23, which we see across all LMGs except for the Shosha, but it does have a very low minimum damage of 15 compared to most other LMGs at either 17.5 or 19. This makes this weapon less capable at long range, which would normally be made up with a higher rate of fire to give it a more close to mid-range boost, but the rate of fire sits at 480 rounds per minute, placing it lower than everything but the M1909 Benet Mercier and the Huo, albeit with the Huo only by 5 rounds per minute. The Lewis Gun has a slow muzzle velocity for an LMG, middle-of-the-road recoil, and middle-of-the-road spread. One of the more beneficial aspects of it is that it has either a 47 or 97 round magazine depending on the variant, though even this is partially countered by the slightly longer than average reload. Let's delve deeper into the differences between the variants themselves. The low weight variant is going to offer the best recoil decrease, spread decrease, and spread increase per shot, which essentially means that you can sustain fire with the highest accuracy and least variability of where the bullets will land. The low weight variant also has a bipod for additional accuracy and stability. The suppressive variant is going to give you an additional 50 rounds in each magazine, bringing the total to 97 rounds, and will provide you with a medium range scope and a bipod, making it great for, as the name suggests, suppressing enemies or picking at long range targets. The optical variant, as with other optical variants in the game, is going to offer an optical sight, which I personally don't particularly like because of how cumbersome they are, but there are certainly those out there that do like them. The optical variant also has slightly better recoil than the other two variants, as well as roughly 25% better ADS spread both while moving and standing still, amounting to the optical variant offering the best accuracy and least variability with each individual shot, particularly when single firing or burst firing. The optical variant is the only variant without a bipod. Now, to answer the question, is the weapon underpowered? It seems to me that based on what we've discussed so far, the Lewis Gun Optical isn't underpowered per se, but it's really just underwhelming. Realistically, the weapon is meant to be used at medium range because it doesn't have the rate of fire to dominate at close range or the minimum damage and bullet velocity to dominate at long range. That said, at medium range, you're likely going to get more of a benefit from the low weight's greater sustained fire accuracy or the suppressive's larger magazine and medium range scope, as well as the bipod on both variants, while the optical variant's better single bullet spread and ADS accuracy, while still beneficial, aren't going to provide quite as noticeable an advantage. A big factor in this is whether the optical sight itself is an advantage, which is subjective since the style of the sight works well for some and poorly for others, but for me personally, that's even less of a reason to use this particular variant. So given that I don't feel that the weapon is necessarily underpowered, should any changes be made to it? Well, the one thing that I feel that could be changed to make it a bit more of a favorable choice is actually more of a global change, which would be to redesign the optical sight in the game or give other optical sight options. As it stands, many players find them bulky and burdensome, making target tracking often more difficult than with iron sights or ranged sights, which is a shame considering that the optical sight variants in the game are designed in such a way to have the best benefit while aiming down sight. Now, I'm no expert on historical weapon design, but it seems to me that the optical sights in the game were probably designed to be more stylistically accurate to the time period than gameplay friendly, though that's just a guess. They're not impossible to use in their current state, but I feel that making them a little more open and a little bit less bulky would help players more easily lean toward optical variants where they should excel over other variants in the game. Now, I wonder how you feel about the Lewis Gun Optical variant. Would you change anything about it to increase its usage? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more content, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Toast, and I'll talk to you soon.